Hey guys, a long time, no talk. I apologize for being gone for so long. I think my last upload was June. Um, I think my last upload was my 3 month update. So it's July 9th today when I'm recording. So it's been a little while and I apologize for that. There's been a lot going on that's kind of taken priority for me, but I'm here. And I guess this will kind of be like my 4 month update type of situation. I just kind of wanted to get on here and let you guys know kind of where I'm at with things because I have been going through some things and hitting a couple roadblocks that I thought it was important for me to talk about. So I have a couple things written down that I want to touch on and kind of anything else that's been going on. I don't want to make this video super, super long. I want to just try to keep it short and sweet and to the point. As always, to comment below, ask any questions. I do my best to respond to everybody. So if there's anything that you feel like I don't go too into depth with, and you want to know more, just leave comments in the comment section below. I apologize for my background setting. It's not the best. But I am in the middle of moving right now. So that's one of the reasons why I've kind of been MIA. So, anyways, let's just jump right into it. Some things that I've been experiencing and have gone through. The first thing that I want to talk about that I had an experience with, which is kind of, I guess, controversial when it comes to the weight loss surgery community. Controversial as far as like the medical standpoint on it. So, alcohol, drinking. And in my program, they told us that they really just started recommending to people that we really don't drink unless it's a special occasion and a small amount, even when we do, just because they're seeing more and more studies come out where people are becoming victims of what they call alcohol transfer. So, I guess when you have weight loss surgery, you get drunk faster, but the alcohol actually leaves your system slower. So, whereas you may think that you're not drunk anymore, as far as your blood alcohol level, you still have a high alcohol level in your blood because it doesn't leave your body as fast as when you had a normal stomach. So, people have had issues with drinking. But with that said, I am 24 years old, gonna be 25 this year, and I've got the rest of my life to live. So it's not really realistic for me to think that I'm not going to drink alcohol just because I've got a lot of life to live still. And I am from a culture and a family where, we drink when we have celebrations and parties. There's always alcohol there. And not like we're alcoholics, but when we celebrate, there's usually alcohol. So I was having a good time with my family. I was drinking and I drank way too much and I got super drunk. And it was very, it was a different kind of feeling. Like I never felt that way before I had surgery when I would have too much to drink. When they say that you should definitely be drinking around people who you can trust, it's the honest truth because the way that I felt, it definitely would have not been a good situation if I was around people that I couldn't trust to make sure I was okay. And what happened was I was drinking a mixed drink. Um, and a lot of times the flavor, the amount of alcohol can be masked by the sweetness of, the juice or whatever that you're mixing it with. And that's exactly what happened. And I just wasn't keeping track. I was having a good time and it got a little out of control. Thankfully, I mean, it was nothing that bad. It was just, I really had like a revelation moment where I was like, whoa, too much. So I would just say, if you're going to drink, definitely either limit yourself before you even go, whether it's to the bar, the restaurant, to family's house, wherever it may be. Go with the mindset of I'm only gonna have two drinks no matter what. Because to be quite honest, depending on what you're drinking, 2 drinks might even make you get to that point. So, make that limitation for yourself before you even go and stick to it. And again, make sure you're around people that you can trust. The next thing I wanted to talk about is my cravings. So before surgery, I was never really a sweets girl. My thing was carbs, bread, rice, pasta, potatoes. That was my thing. More recently, I have been craving sugar, which is new for me because I never really was a sweets girl. And it's been something that I've had to be very cognizant of and make sure that I'm controlling, especially because things like cookies and stuff like that, um, depending on how moist the cookie is or whatever it is that I'm eating, if it's more on the drier end, I can consume a lot of it. I mean, not as much as the person with an average stomach, but a lot, as far as more than my stomach probably should be able to consume as far as other things go. So that's been kind of hard for me because, sometimes I just want to eat and I think, oh, well, my stomach is small, so it's okay. But really, it'll catch up to you. Um, so it's just something to be aware of. Your taste for things, your cravings for things, your interest in things as far as food and drinks go will change for sure. And I know a lot of people say that, but it's something that I just thought like, okay, like how much is it really going to change? But it's a different feeling for me to be craving sweet foods, and I have to make sure that I'm checking myself constantly so that I'm not overeating or eating too much sugar, because and I'll end up back at square one, which is the least place that I want to be. um, Along with cravings, I want to kind of talk about hormones and birth control and periods. This is for all the ladies out there. Sorry, guys, you can just skip over the next, few minutes of this video. But so I am on birth control. I have the Nexplanon implant. It used to be called the Implanon. It's now Nexplanon. I have it in my arm here. It's right here. I'm actually due for it to be changed in August. So, mine has well healed over. You really can't even tell it's there, but it's there. Before surgery, I really didn't have too many problems with it. I had a little bit of spotting here and there, but then it kind of settled it out, and I wasn't getting my period at all. The 2 days before surgery, back in February, I got my period. And I had my period for probably a week and a half, which I never had a period that long before I had this birth control put in. So I thought it was a combination of, stress. I had lost some weight. My highest weight was 278. My pre-op weight was 259. So from I want to say like December of last year to February 20th when I lost surgery, I went from 278 to 259. So, and I was doing a liquid diet. My body was going through a lot. So I thought my body's probably just responding to these changes. It'll probably settle itself out and I won't get my period again, whatever. So then I didn't get my period March, then I got it in April, and it's been kind of every other month. And the duration of my period has been varying, and sometimes it's like 5 days. It's really not that heavy, and then it'll stop and I won't have anything for a couple days, and then I'll get it again for a couple more days, and then it'll stop. And so I've just been dealing with that a lot. And of course, with that, my hormones have kind of been like all over the place. And I don't know why my periods have been so irregular. And I don't know if it's partly because my birth control needs to be changed out this year. It's getting closer in August. Actually, like the beginning of August is when I will need to get this replaced. So I don't know if it's the combination of the massive weight loss. Because right now, and I'm sorry I didn't start the video off this way, but right now I'm at 205. So I've gone from 278 to 205 in about 6-7 months or so. So the combination of the weight loss, I don't know if it's partly because my birth control needs to be changed out soon, and maybe it's losing its effectiveness. I'm not sure, but I've been dealing with that, and that has been very frustrating because it has, along with the cravings and the hormone, um, issues that I've been dealing with, it has also, I feel, has affected my weight loss, my progression of my weight loss. Although I'm very happy to be at 205, I feel great. I'm happy. I'm almost out of the 200s, and that's a great place to be for me. I couldn't be more than happy to be here. Um, I feel awesome at 205. So I'm happy with it. But I do think that my weight loss has stalled a little bit because of the water weight and the bloating. And then because it's been very inconsistent, it's really playing with my weight. So in June, um, yeah, in June, I was down, in the beginning of the month, I was down to 211. I got my period and kind of PMS, and I went back up to 214 or 215. Stayed there for like a week. And once my period and everything was kind of done, I instantly dropped down to like 209. So then I slowly was progressing and doing that, and then I got to 205, and then boom, again with the period. So, and my period situation has been going on for probably the last 2.5 weeks on and off. I mean, it's honestly frustrating and so much at this point. I have an appointment, so I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of it. But in between, it's been very frustrating. So again, now for the last like 2.5 weeks, I have been at 205, and I haven't gone past it because it's been up and down with this period situation. So that's been really frustrating, and that's just something that I really wanted to talk about with you guys because you may experience this, once you start along this journey after you get your surgery, partially just because of the change in the body, losing a lot of weight. But again, if you are on some type of birth control, along with the combination of losing lots of weight, you may experience some of this. And I just want you to be aware that it may stall your weight loss at times. And so don't get discouraged because um, sometimes that may happen to you. And it's just something that you have to get through. And if you're having a lot of irregularities and inconsistencies, then you definitely want to go talk to your GYN, which is what I am planning on doing. I have an appointment this week, and I'm going to, tell them about all this stuff because I want to figure it out. Just because, if anything, I need some consistency in my life as far as this menstrual cycle goes. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you're keeping a good eye on your period. I also had my 3 month post op appointment in June, the end of June, even though I was like 3 months um, before that, but that's when they scheduled it for. I got some blood work done. They checked my vital signs and all that stuff. And they officially removed from my medical history that I am morbidly obese, which that was a great feeling to have that removed, and it felt really good. Um, I was really happy. All my vital signs were great. Before surgery, I didn't have high blood pressure or diabetes or anything like that. I was just overweight and slowly heading that way. But my vital signs were great. And my nurse practitioner actually said that I was, um, I had lost from my surgery date, which was February 20th of 2018 to June. I had lost like 30% more weight than like the average patient. So that made me feel really good. But it also made me a little scared because I felt like maybe my honeymoon phase will be over sooner than most people, which is kind of, I don't know, makes me a little sad, I guess. But I shouldn't be sad because I know, my body's gonna stop when it's ready to stop, and I'm gonna have to accept that, and that's fine. But that made me feel good because that showed me that I was doing everything that I should be doing. I also got blood work done. All my blood work came back normal. And before surgery, I had issues with vitamin D deficiency and iron deficiency anemia. And so to see that even with this weight loss, that my my vitamins and minerals and stuff are all normal made me feel so great. Especially because that vitamin regimen, it's hard some days to stick to it. And honestly though, when I don't take my vitamins normally, I can feel it. And it forces me to start taking them again because I feel like such crap if I am not consistent with my vitamins. And that's what kind of forces me to stay on track with them. But I was glad that the vitamins that I'm taking are working for my body, that I'm absorbing them. And it was just a really good meeting, an appointment, and it made me feel good, which helped me with being consistent with my eating as well as working out. So let me talk about that. And that's going to be the last thing that I talk about is my working out regimen. I have, and I think I may have talked about this, touched on it a little bit in my last video. I have started doing hot yoga. And let me just tell you, before surgery, I would have never thought of stepping in a room to do regular yoga, let alone hot yoga. But a friend from work introduced me to it and I fell in love. I just want to say if you have hip problems, back problems, you think you're not flexible enough, you're not strong enough, whatever the case may be, just give it a try. Look into it in your area. Even regular yoga classes will make you sweat and build your strength. And that has been what I do for workouts, because quite honestly, the room is so damn hot, that each class I probably burn more than 500 calories. I know I burn at least 500, but probably more. My friend that I go with has an Apple Watch, so at the end of class, I'm always like, how many calories did we burn? And it's always over 500, but that doesn't account for that fact that when we finish the class, our heart rate is still up. So we're still burning calories probably for a good 20 to 30 minutes after that class is over. So by the time we're actually done and back to our resting heart rate, it's probably closer to 600 calories. And I do that about 3 to 4 times a week. And that's been enough for me, to be quite honest, because I see the changes in my body, in my arms. I mean, to some, my arms may not look the best, but you know what? I can see a difference in my arms from when I first started going. I can see a difference in my body. I am stronger. I can feel that I'm stronger. And it's so rewarding when I'm able to get myself into a pose that I couldn't get into before. I'm doing headstands and stuff, things that I thought I would never do. And it's great. It's a great environment, and it doesn't just build your strength, and it's not just about a workout. It heals your mind. There have been days where I had to go to yoga to be able to even get my day started some days. And you know what? I'm fine with that. If yoga is my addiction, I'm cool with that because food was my addiction before. And yoga helps me deal with that addiction, because just because I got surgery doesn't mean that it went away. Trust me, there are days where I ate too many cookies, I had too much rice, I didn't eat enough protein because I didn't want protein, I wanted to eat whatever. Or, I still struggle every single day with my food addiction, and yoga helps me fight that. So it's something that I really recommend. It is so healing and it's so good for your body and for your mind. It is therapy for me, to be so honest with you guys. So if you're looking for something to help you build strength, burn calories, but you hate the gym, you feel threatened by the gym, try yoga classes, because there's an instructor, you're in a class with people, and even though you're with people, you really don't compare yourself, because you get in such a zone on yourself and propelling yourself and progressing yourself, that nobody else in the room really matters except the instructor guiding you through each step. So I really recommend it. Give it a try. I'm looking at my timer now, and this video is about to be 20 minutes. I didn't want it to be long, but it's been a little while. So I'm going to stop it here. Again, leave any questions or comments below. I'll see you guys soon.